Good morning. It's 6:34, September 20th. We got some guys coming in right now. I think Reese is coming in. But this is going to be the first video back on YouTube. So I'm going to be doing a full market breakdown on Monday, like I said, September 20th. And, you guys will get, probably about 20 minutes worth in the beginning is going to be a full market breakdown. Reese, what's up, buddy? Reese, can you hear me? Not sure. Reese, you with me? Type in the chat here. So again, I'm going to wait for a couple guys to hop in, and let's see. We're going to be doing that full market breakdown. I'm here, but I'm having trouble with my mic and camera. Okay. Yeah, just let me know when that's fixed. But I might wait for a couple other guys to come in, and we'll do a full market breakdown. Can you hear me though? Loud and clear. Awesome. Awesome. Hope you had a dude, I can hear you. If you just talk, say something.
Can you hear me?
There we go. Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, there we go.
Awesome. How you doing?
Not too bad.
Awesome.
Just try to start my day really early today, so we'll see how it goes.
There you go. Good stuff. Yeah, how was last night? You do everything we were talking about?
Yeah, it was good. So I have like my reminders to do, and like it's kind of I'll send it to you so you see how it's kind of like laid out. I kind of like changed it a little bit, but
awesome.
At least I have reminders for my to-do list and stuff, daily must.
That's what I like. It doesn't have to be exactly the way I say. Like whatever makes sense for you and whatever you feel comfortable with setting it up. It's I think that's good.
Yeah, see, so like I kind of have it like laid out like this. One sec here. I guess I'll just send it in our group.
See. So so this is going to be a recording for YouTube. I'm going to be putting these back on YouTube. I stopped for a little bit, not too sure why actually. I just I want to make them more organized and put them on YouTube for people. So that's probably why you heard me talking in the beginning. But we're going to be doing a full market breakdown. That's what we do on Mondays. And then we get into trading, answering questions, just basically running through the session and checking on different pairs, stuff like that. But on Mondays, we do that full market breakdown. We basically do it every day, but Monday is just obviously a little bit more in detail to go over what went on during the weekend and all that stuff.
All right. So this is like pretty much the fundamentals right now, right? The very beginning.
Yeah, we're gonna go over the economic calendar and a couple of things going on. Why the dollar's rallying right now. A couple different things in China right now with this company over here, Evergrande. So Evergrande is a big real estate firm. So what's going on is they're owing money to the government in these bonds, and they need to pay these back. I gotta see. Anyway, their stock is plunging right now, and it's kind of like a Lehman Brothers situation. So it's getting a little sticky for them. Supposedly, they might have liquidity issues and not be able to pay it. So that's what they're starting to worry about in China, and it's kind of rocking the markets. That's why if you take a look at the pre-markets right now, all pre-markets are down. There's a lot of fear in the market, and if we take a look at the VIX, and it probably seems like I'm throwing a lot at you right now, But it's going to start to make sense. The more you hop on these lives and listen to what I'm saying, it's going to it's all this stuff is going to start to make more sense for you. So if you take a look at the VIX is a fear indicator. It's called the Volatility Index. So whenever this is up and whenever it's bullish like this, right over here, these little spikes, that's spikes of fear. And that's all the market is. When you're looking at, a price chart over here and you're trying to, figure out what's going on, a lot of it is human psychology and a lot of it is fear. When the stock market's rallying, a lot of people are risk averse, like they're going to be spending money. The economy's good, everything's good. When the stock market, like the S&P 500, the Dow, when that takes a hit, there's fear in the market, right? People are fearing something happening in the future or something that just happened. So this is a good indicator. Whenever this is bullish like this, most of the time you're going to see the dollar on the rise, and you're also going to see the stock market start to tank a little bit, start to take a hit.
Go down.
Exactly. So
pretty much like repeat itself from the moves on the left on this chart, right?
Exactly. And since you're kind of new to these live streams, I'll just go over a couple of these indexes over here just so that you have a good idea. And this will help everyone on YouTube as well. So this right here is the dollar index, right? So this is following the performance of the dollar and how it's doing. And if you take a look over here, what happened in the beginning of March 2020, this was COVID. So when you have the Fed pumping money into the economy, you're going to see this, the value of the dollar is going to be taking a hit, right? So right now the stock market's pretty bullish as well, but you're seeing over here global fear and uncertainty. And whenever that happens, you have, a pair like the dollar over here, especially when you have money getting pumped in, you're going to have this, taking a hit a little bit. So in any other case, if you had market fear in the market, most of the time the dollar and the Japanese yen, the Swiss franc and gold are going to be bullish, right? You're going to have, people investing in the safe haven currencies like these currencies because the US dollar, it's a safe haven currency. The Japanese yen is kind of the same thing out in Asia. And the Swiss franc, they got good interest rates, good bank, basically benefits of keeping your money in. You ever hear people keeping their money in like Swiss bank accounts
and stuff like that in the movies?
Exactly. Yeah. Like you watch Wolf of Wall Street, that's basically what they're doing. So, and then gold, whenever the dollar is bullish, gold is going to be going the other way. And most of the time, whenever gold is bullish, and you got fear in the market, you're going to see the dollar going the opposite way as well because, dollars compared to gold or gold is compared to the dollar. So right now we are holding support over here and we are bullish based on everything going on right now with the Fed. What the Fed wants to be doing is start to taper. And when they taper and start to increase interest rates, that's going to increase the value of the dollar because you're not pumping as much money into the economy. Does that make sense? When you keep printing all this money and pumping it into the economy, that's not good for the value of the dollar because there's much more of it. There's not as much of a scarcity of the dollar.
It's inflated.
Exactly. 1 second. What's up, Carlos?
What's up, guys? Good morning.
Good morning, buddy. How's your weekend?
Doing good. It was good.
Awesome. What'd you do?
So Saturday I went over the teachable videos.
Oh, nice.
And Sunday I did a lot of cleaning, like roofing, still fixing the roof on the backyard.
How's that coming?
Pretty good. Yeah, did a lot Sunday, and I watched that weak ass Saints game.
You watched what?
The Saints game Sunday.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that was a rough one.
But that's about it. You had a good weekend. How about y'all?
Good for you. Reese, this is Carlos, by the way. Carlos Reese. Reese is up in Canada, but Carlos, he lives down in New Orleans, and he just got hit by those hurricanes. So he's kind of working his way through that. It's taking his mind off Forex a little bit, which is completely understandable.
Yeah,
But
that's
I'm glad
crazy.
you're coming back around and able to get your focus back a little bit. That's good for you.
Well, yeah, happy to be here, man.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So I was just going over some of these indexes. This is going to be going on YouTube. I'm going to be posting these back on YouTube again. But I was just explaining to Reese what some of these indexes are and why we look at them. So Reese, again, this is the dollar currency index, and it's a good thing to take a look at on a daily basis if you are trading gold. Reese, I didn't ask you yesterday what your main pair was.
Euro JPY.
Euro JPY. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could be going over Euro JPY. That's a pair I actually stopped trading. Just because I wanted to narrow it down between GJ and gold and just master those. But if I know we do have a couple guys trading Euro JPY. A couple guys stopped as well, so that's why I stopped breaking them down as much. But if you'd like me to break that down, by all means, I definitely will.
Yep.
But with us trading pairs like GJ, right? Pairs like EJ, like you are, UJ, anything like that, you have the Japanese yen currency index over here that you take a look at. It looks pretty similar to the dollar, doesn't it? Where you had this drop, price coming all the way down here, holding support, and now we're, kind of consolidating over here, just like the dollar, right over here. Held support and we're kind of consolidating. So it's pretty similar price action. But this is something that you want to look at to see what's the strength of the Japanese yen right now against my pair, against the euro, against the pound. Again, we went over the VIX currency index over here. This is the fear indicator, basically. Right over here is the UK 100. They call it the FTSE. So a lot of global equities and stock markets right now are taking a hit because of that Evergrande. Right here, pull it up right now. Right over here, Evergrande. Carlos, I don't know if you're following this right now, but we have kind of like a Lehman Brothers. It's not exactly like that. It's actually much different, but at the same time, it's the best way for people to understand what's going on. This is a real estate company that's kind of defaulting, or they might have liquidity issues with paying their debts to the Chinese government right now, and that could send like a shockwave through the market. And this is what a lot of people are looking at this week, along with what the Fed is going to be saying this week as well when it comes to tapering. So this, do you remember anything about 2008 with Lehman Brothers and how they went bankrupt and everything?
No, honestly, I'm never. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with any of this.
Okay. So both of you guys, if you guys are interested in fundamentals and understanding, global equities and, global currencies and what happened in the past, it'll give you a good understanding so that, down the road, when these things happen again, because history repeats itself, you guys are going to be on top of it because you're going to know what happened in the past. Now, obviously, we weren't all trading in 2008. I don't think most people were that, let's say, are on Instagram that have been trading currencies or that have an online platform at least. A lot of people weren't trading in 2008. For me, I was back in 8th grade going into high school. So I wish I was trading at that point. I who knows where we'd be right now, but can't really look at that. But what happened was Lehman Brothers, when a couple banks went default, and I'll actually send you guys a podcast because there's a podcast that goes over this. Peter Schiff talks about this, and it's very informative. But this was the first time that the government was bailing out banks, and they said they were promising that they were going to bail out a lot of people. And what it did was it put us in a bubble where the Fed keeps funding the U.S. government, keeps printing money, keeps bailing out different companies. This just happened again with COVID. Obviously, it's not the company's fault, but at the same time, you're still bailing out companies. It's not a real economy. It puts us in a bubble where, people are spending money that they don't have. The government's spending money that they don't have. bailing out all these companies instead of just letting them fail and letting that cycle in the market just, sort of happen. Instead, we're creating that false economy by bailing these companies out, bailing the banks out. So it creates like this false narrative. And that's why you see the stock market so bullish right now, even though we have companies closed, we have, places on lockdown, companies not doing as well as they were, retail not doing as well as it was. Although last week we did have solid retail numbers, a little bit of a surprise, which is good. But at the same time, like not as many, if you look at parking lots around the world or around like your neighborhood, you're going to see them a little bit shorter on population. Like not as many people are spending as much money. It's kind of a false economy. Not as many people are working, right? How insane is that? You got the government paying people not to work, and that's creating a lot of issues when it comes to unemployment and what's going on in the global economy. So let's take a look at the economic calendar for this week. Right now, we have a couple holidays out in Asia, so there wasn't much that went on. But at the same time, everyone is paying attention to that Evergrande issue. They owe, I think, 85 and 50 billion right now to the Chinese government, and they're going to have to pay it up. And if they don't, we'll see what happens. If they don't, it's going to send a shockwave through the market. This could be the start of that real estate decline. But we have a lot of Fed policy decisions this week. AUD. You got the Fed talking later on Wednesday as well, but that's all you really have. Federal election for Canada, that's big as well. But not much is going on today when it comes to the pairs that we trade. Moving into Tuesday, you have a couple different things, a lot of yellow folder events, but things that you could take a look at. Public sector net borrowing, a lot of these things, guys. I highly recommend when you get time, create like an Excel sheet or a Google Sheets sheet, whatever you want to call it, of a lot of these economic data points that are coming out, especially GDP, especially unemployment. And what you want to do is, like, let's say over here, CBI industrial order expectations. This gives you a full breakdown of what this economic data is, how often it comes out, right? What it normally means. So if it's greater than the previous forecast, or if it's greater than the previous, then that's going to be great for the forecast. It's going to be good for the currency, right? They give you a couple notes over here, why traders should care about this. So what you want to do is create like an Excel sheet or something like that, where you have that the name of it, and then have different columns for these things and start studying these. And then what you could do is go back and back test what happened the previous times that this came out. So it looks like this comes out monthly, released monthly around 3 weeks before or into the current month. So this will be good for you guys. Obviously, a lot of these yellow folder events aren't as important, but the red folder events and the orange folder events are some of the ones at least are going to be at the top of that Excel sheet, right? So something really worth studying. Get to know the fundamentals, get to know what's going on, and eventually you'll be able to trade that news and know exactly what's going to happen. At least there's a high probability chance that all right, 8:30 unemployment comes out. What has happened on gold in the last 6 months when unemployment came out, right? What's the high probability that price is going to rally when this number normally comes out, or when we miss expectations by this much, right? You get to know that, what's it called? That data point, and you can eventually start studying it. Now, we don't trade news in here. That's gambling, but we trade the reaction to the news sometimes. So what happens is the data point will come out at 8:30, and we see how the market's reacting, and then we could trade around 8:45, 8:50, 9 o'clock, because that's not gambling. That's just trading the reaction to the news. There's not as much volatility, and we're completely fine when it comes to any kind of dangers of trading that news event, right? So Anyway, that's a good practice for you. But other than creating that Excel sheet, something you can also do is journal those moves, like the technical analysis of those moves, so that you have a good idea of what happens. And creating a column on Trello. Reese, were you able to? You probably weren't, but were you able to get to those the journaling videos last night?
No, I wasn't able to get that far.
Yeah, I didn't think so. What were you, just on the mental foundation part?
Yeah, just the very beginning.
Awesome. How'd you like it?
It's good so far.
Good.
Got a lot written down, so trying to implement it now.
Good, man. When that's a good little like database, that section right there. I actually have to update it. I gotta put some new videos in there, but that's something that you can always go back to. And if you lose momentum, and you know how it is, like you were just in that point not too long ago where you didn't have much momentum, kind of questioning where you're at. In those instances where like you kind of need a zoom, like we went over yesterday.
Yeah.
Was that yesterday?
Yeah, that was yesterday. Yeah.
Get my days mixed up. Crazy. Yeah, it was yesterday. Yeah. So instead of doing a Zoom like that, which we can always do, you can always just go back to those videos and resort back to those videos, and that'll get your mind back on track and help you out. But the key is like not losing that momentum, because it's very hard to gain momentum. I'm going off track a little bit here, but it's good for you guys to hear on Monday. Momentum is so valuable to hold on to and grasp, because once you get it, you don't want to get rid of it. You feel like $1,000,000. You feel like you're moving at 100 miles an hour. You're doing everything that you know you're supposed to. Your confidence is rising, right? You're sticking to your word. All these
you're
things.
staying grounded.
You're staying grounded. You're not, being distracted by all the distractions that we have now today, where you have social media and most people are just scrolling through social media, spending 3, 4, 5 hours a day just doing that. I'm not saying like at one time, but if you go back on your phone and you look at the data that they compose, or they bring up, of the amount of time that you spend on social media or any of the apps that you have, it's a drug. And as consumers, we're just taking it in, and we're just sucking it up and going right with it. And the top 1% loves it. So you want to make sure that you're not doing that on a daily basis. You want to make sure that you keep your momentum. Maybe if you have a private Instagram, create a trading one on the side of one that you just follow trading people, follow people that are going to do you a lot of good. But at the same time, you don't want to be on Instagram too long. You want to be able to, open up your phone and automatically go towards and gravitate towards like an article online, or go check, the charts, or do something that you need to be doing, because you got to be obsessed with this. You got to, and it's okay if you're not obsessed right now, but eventually you get there. Eventually you get there by just putting the work in, and it's going to feel unnatural. Like the first week right now, this is going to feel very unnatural, because you're so set in your ways of, doing what most people do, and that's okay. But, you're making that change right now. But it's kind of like going through a withdrawal from drugs, where like your brain is automatically trying to gravitate towards entertainment, trying to gravitate towards relaxing or leisure or anything like that. But eventually you start to turn the corner and you don't need all that anymore. Your brain doesn't, gravitate towards those things anymore. It gravitates towards, looking at fundamentals, getting better at your craft, always trying to figure out different ways that you can get better. These are the things it takes to become a successful trader and a successful business person and make money, right?
Yeah.
That's what we're all trying to do. So, yeah, like I said, you can always go back to that section of the course, and it'll kind of grind you again. But again, the key is not losing that momentum. That's so key. Very hard to gain momentum, and it's very hard to have consistency. That's the next thing. It can't just be you doing all these things every single day, or it can't just be you doing these things on a Monday, and then all of a sudden Tuesday comes around, okay, doing the same things, but not as much, not getting those daily musts done every single day. Yeah. Or on Tuesday, where you get them all done on Monday, now Tuesday, And now in your head, you're like, all right, I didn't do that. Now on Wednesday, you're just kind of like lackadaisical. You're kind of going back into your old routine. You want to stop that. You want to stop that right in its tracks and stay right on track with what you're doing. You see, Wednesday and Thursday, it starts to get very hard to stay on track. But I'll challenge you to do that. I'm sure you will. I'll stay on top of you without babying you. We're gonna do that in here. Anyway, economic calendar. Little side piece right there, but a lot of yellow folder events over here. Again, you have monetary policy statement coming out of Japan, and also their bank rate as well. I'm sure they're going to stay the same. But a lot of monetary policy decisions this week. So a lot of things that may rock the market if they decide to start tapering. Because if the Fed decides to start tapering, you're going to start to see other countries do so as well. And of course, they're going to be tapering before they increase any kind of interest rates. You're not going to see increasing interest rates this year for especially the dollar, just because Powell is so dovish right now and really doesn't want to do anything, it seems, unlike most of the presidents in the FOMC. A lot of them are a little bit hawkish. They want to start curbing some of this inflation that's going on with all these rising prices in retail and groceries and gas, everything. Prices are rising at a rapid pace right now. So we got to start tapering. They got to start stopping the pumping of money into the economy so that we kind of get back on track. But at the same time, if they stop that too quick, they're in a rough spot. If they stop that too quick, we can crash the market and all of a sudden 2008 happens all over again. But instead of the subprime mortgage crisis that catapulted the 2008 market crash, now it's going to be inflation. Now it's going to be a Fed created issue from money being pumped into the market and the value of the dollar just decreasing. And now moving into Wednesday is going to be our solid day over here. So we also have the Bank of Japan press conference, but then we have FOMC is speaking, right? They're going to be talking about economic projections. Federal funds rate is coming out as well. That's going to stay the same. So you're probably going to be seeing gold, like pairs like gold, continue to consolidate through until Wednesday, I would say. But at the same time, we still might be able to catch some moves. We also have a bank holiday on Wednesday as well. So we want to just keep a lookout on that. Honestly, that really doesn't affect us because we trade the New York market and the Japanese banks right now are closed anyway. So most of the time, that's not too much of a issue for us in New York, right? It's basically a bank holiday in Japan every day anyway for us. Moving into Thursday, we have manufacturing and services PMI coming up. A lot of data coming in over here. And then you have the monetary policy statement coming out of Great Britain as well, right? So first, today, you get the monetary policy meeting coming out and their policy statements coming out of Australia. Then you get Japan. Then you get the US. And then you have over here Great Britain as well. What's up, Gio? Oh, you probably.
How's it going, guys?
There we go. He's got a mic. How are you, buddy?
Yep. Doing all right. How's it going?
Awesome. You have a good weekend?
Yes, sir.
Good shit. Yeah, I was smiling at some of those things coming across my screen with Pacquiao. I could see that happening. Hopefully, I don't know what his policies are, right? It could just be a celebrity that's running like kind of Arnold in California, and everyone likes him, obviously. But with Pacquiao, he's such a good dude. But I just don't know what his policies are and how they would affect the Philippines. You would know better than I do.
Right. It's just I don't know. I mean, he's been into politics for what, maybe about 8 years now.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. He was a congressman and then now he's a senator. But I think he lacks more experience. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, we had Donald Trump. Same thing.
I was going to say that in our DMs.
Yeah,
he ran for president and became it right away.
But I don't know. I think I think because when I remember when he was a congressman, that some of his advisors were just trying to fool him. They were telling him to do this, do that. They're trying to make use advantage of him for their own benefit. So,
well, that's politics. Just want to take a video. So yeah, we were just doing a market breakdown right now, and taking a look at the economic calendar. We got a lot of monetary policy statements coming out this week for a lot of these different countries. Obviously, the main one's the U.S. The main one, when it comes to the Fed, a lot of these guys are. I'm just explaining these things in layman terms, I guess you could say. But everything is based on the Fed, just about out of the U.S. So like if the U.S. does something, if the U.S. comes out and Powell, I know he's speaking on Friday over here, but we are going to have the FOMC statements coming out on Wednesday with the federal funds rate. So obviously they're going to be speaking. But anything that they do, if they say that they're going to be tapering, you're going to start to see a trickle down effect in other countries as well, saying that they may start to taper as well. So you just want to keep a look at what the U.S. is doing and then go off that. Gio, I was explaining the Evergrande over here. Have you seen what's going on over there? I'm sure you have with the real estate. What was that?
What? No, I'm not. What is that? I'm not familiar with it.
So we have kind of like a Lehman Brothers situation right now where they owe the Chinese government a bunch of money. It's like a real estate firm, like I think the biggest. And that's why you see the pre-markets right now down a good amount, because they owe close to 130 or 140 billion to the U.S. To the Chinese government. And they may be having liquidity issues right now. So they keep saying that they're going to be fine. But there's a lot of, here we go. Interest payments and bank loans and bonds over here. They're saying that they're going to be fine, but a lot of people are pretty worried that they're going to have liquidity issues and not be able to pay it by today. So if that happens, it's going to send a little shockwave through the market when it comes to the real estate, industry. Again, any kind of global market right now, S&P, the Dow, you're going to see that start to go down as well, because that could trickle down into the U.S. when it comes to our real estate firms as well. Now over here, moving into Thursday, the main thing is going to be U.S. data coming out, retail sales coming out, unemployment, also monetary policy for Great Britain. But this is something that you want to pay attention to, Reese, when it comes to trading the Euro JPY. You have German flash manufacturing PMI and services PMI coming out for the Euro, for Germany, for France. But the main thing that you want to look at when it comes to PMI is going to be Germany, because that's the main market over in Europe. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
Okay, good. So that's why I'm explaining all this stuff to you now, so that you're going to be able to go back on YouTube and rewatch this. So it's gonna be good for you for today.
Okay.
Then also you got flash manufacturing PMI and services PMI coming out for Great Britain as well. But again, like I said, moving into later during market open on Thursday, you have unemployment coming out, flash manufacturing and flash services PMI coming out as well for Thursday. So Friday, the big thing is going to be Powell speaking. And also, especially for you, Reese, if you're trading EJ, you're going to have German IFO business climate. A lot of things coming out for Germany. That's the main economy that you want to pay attention to, like I said. So pay attention to that. This is something else that you can put into the not economic calendar, but the Excel sheet that I was telling you to make, just so that you get a better understanding of what's going on fundamentally with your pairs. And it just gives you a good idea, and you can study these. You can also go back and back test, like I said. Let's say, I don't know, the last 6 times this data came out, take a look at the previous, take a look at the forecast, and how off was this number from the forecast and the previous? Was it way off, Was it a big surprise when it comes to any kind of a positive number, or was it a big surprise by negative? How did the market react to that? And you're going to go back and back test that and journal it on Trello, which we could get into down the road. But it'll give you a good idea of how the market reacts when you do it. And you're not going to be trading the actual news event. You'll be trading the reaction to that news. Right. So that's the economic calendar for this week. Again, the main thing is going to be the monetary policy statements coming out of all these countries this week. And also, this is going to be pretty big today to see what they do. Because, if they can't pay up, it's going to be an issue when it comes to the global economies. Reese, something that you want to take a look at is Forex Live. If you go to more at the top over here and go to session wraps, this gives you a good idea of what happened in the previous session that you traded, or that was being traded. Gives you all the, obviously the highlighted ones are the more important ones. Here you go, China media, how Evergrande could turn into China's Lehman Brothers. That's what we were just talking about. But it gives you a little paragraph of what went on during that session, and then you could click on each of these. I like clicking on a lot of the ones that catch my attention, and I just read through it. It gives you an article for each one. Sometimes it's a little paragraph, sometimes it's a whole article. So it's the more you do this, it's gonna sound and read like gibberish almost, but the more you do it, the more consistent you stay with it, the more you're going to start to understand. And if you don't understand a certain term, either you can, shoot me a DM and ask me, or you just look it up. And that's how you get better. That's how you get more knowledgeable. And about a month from now, you're really going to start to understand a lot of the things going on over here. Now, I'm no expert when it comes to fundamentals. My main thing is technicals. But I understand how important fundamentals are. And this is something that on a daily basis, I'm getting more and more used to as well. So, this is a good practice. Great website. Other than this, I know a lot of people look at Forex Factory, then they go over to the news over here and they just read through these. This is basically the same exact thing, but having that session wrap for the Asian Forex news wrap over here, you know exactly what happened during the Asian session while you were sleeping. So it's definitely a good thing to take a look at. Look, right over here, this is the Americas news wrap. Now, this is on Friday. Normally, the Americas news wrap is more in depth, right? They give you basically a breakdown of how the currencies performed. This one isn't too much in depth. I guess not much went on during Friday, but most of the time this is very in-depth when it comes to what happened during the American session, because that's the last session of the day. For us, it's the first, but for the global economy, that's the last session of the day. All the markets, risk off contagion, trade hits. Yeah, there you go. So this is gonna be interesting over here, but let's get into the technicals, the fun stuff. Taking a look at the Japanese yen over here. So we'll do a full breakdown over here. Reese, the main confluence that we take a look at is support and resistance. So that's supply and demand. That's our main confluence. But at the same time, we use trend lines where they make sense. So right over here, if you take a look, we've been in a multi-year downtrend on pound yen, coming all the way down here, tapping up here, creating these historical highs close. Yeah, actually, we did hit 250 up here in 2007. And then we had that tank from the 2008 market crash, right? We ended up creating this support right down here, right? We had a little bit of a recovery, a little bit of a correction to that move. And then we came right back down to retest that low over here. But we never actually closed below this wick creation, right? Then we ended up entering this market recovery after 2008, from 2012 all the way into 2015. And then into the late 2015, they started to announce that Brexit was going to happen, that they were going to leave the European Union and, have their own economy, have their own trade, do what they, make their own rules, do what they want. And obviously you're going to take a little hit on the pound, because when you don't have as many trade partners, when you don't have Europe to trade with, when it comes to any market whatsoever, you're going to have to find other trade partners, and that's going to devalue the currency, because not as many people are going to be using it. So, we took a hit from Brexit, but we never closed below the lows that were created over here during the 2008 market crash. Then we entered this recovery over here, bringing us right back up to 156, which we're at right now. And then, we took a hit over here, coming all the way back down to create these lows. But if you take a look right now, the fact that this right here was COVID and we never closed below this support right over here, it's pretty interesting. We never, COVID, you close all these businesses, people lose their jobs. It's been a turmoil year and a half, all the deaths and everything like that. We never broke below the 2008 market crash. We basically just created a liquidity grab, and then we just continued up. So since the beginning of COVID over here, we've just been in a bullish trend. So like I was mentioning before, you do have 156 right here that you want to mark off. Almost got it. So 156, we reached this resistance over here, retested that area, and then we reacted to the multi-year downtrend, bringing price right back down to this area right over here. So if you take a look, you got candle body highs over here, previous rejection, previous resistance, formed right over here, then became the new support, right? And it looks like price is coming right back down to retest that level over here on the monthly. We're a little bit more than halfway through September. We created our top wick over here on the monthly, right? Never passed the high of the previous candle over here, and then flipped bearish. And now it looks like we're going to be filling this wick, maybe even this wick right down here. So this will be interesting. But this is a very key area. Anywhere in here, you could do this if you wanted. I just don't like big zones on the higher time frames over here, because you always have to adjust them. So I just kind of like to keep it right around here. Nice, thin, neat support over here. So looking at the weekly, here you go. You got the support over here. Price came all the way back down, retested these lows over here, and now created this resistance to then come right back down, grab liquidity to continue right back down. If you take a look, since tapping 156 over here, we've been in this bearish trend, continuing right back down. I just want to take a look at something right now. I took a trade on GJ earlier this morning and grabbed 10 pips on the sell. But right now we may have another opportunity, which I'm going to get to in a second. I'm just breaking down the higher time frames. Now, don't worry, like there's going to be plenty of moves that we can catch while we're breaking these down, but it's better for you guys to get a good understanding of what's going on in the market, so that you know what are the good trading opportunities. It doesn't look like right now, based on the weekly, that there's many good opportunities to take a buy on GJ, does it? Right? So we're not at this key level right now. We got a clean move right over here, all the way down to 149, 400, 300, I would say. So there's no reason for GJ right now to just stop all of a sudden, form a support right here, and then continue right back up. There's a much higher probability, and that's what you're looking for, is high probability moves. There's a much higher probability that price is probably going to retest this key area right over here. So that's, there's no true reason for you guys really to be buying the pound or pound yen right now. Right now, it's a good time to sell this all the way back down here. When we get to here, this might be another thing to revisit, because if you take a look, last time we were at 149, 300. Every single time we rejected, printed a bullish candle. Right over here, we rejected as well, printed a bullish candle. This bearish candle never closed below the support right over here, and then we created the support to come right back up to 156 and retest that level as well. David, what's up, my man?
Good, bro. Good morning. Good morning.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great. You have a good weekend?
Yeah. The family chilling.
There you go. Did you enjoy yourself as a single man?
Yeah.
There you go.
I went to a party. I went to Monmouth University.
Oh, how was that?
It was a whole different experience.
Oh, I bet. I bet. We'll talk about it in a little bit. We're just breaking down the market right now, doing a full market breakdown.
Yeah.
And then we'll get into all that, all the juicy details over there. So anyway, like I said, clean move to the left. That's what you want to take a look at. It looks like these candles right over here, this candle and then this candle are pretty much identical as far as body candle length. Besides this liquidity grab right over here, strong liquidity grab, price for bearish, and then past the low of this wick right over here. But this candle looks identical, and then this candle right over here and this candle are both pretty identical as well. So there's, again, a high probability that we're going to be retesting that support right down there. So let's get rid of this and go back to the lower time frames. Daily. But again, like I was saying, ever since tapping 156, we've been creating new lows, coming right back up to retest the trend and continuing right back down to create a new low. And then we come up to retest the previous consolidation over here, right? We ended up creating this new low, coming up to retest the previous consolidation, retest 153,500, and then we continue right back down to create a new low or respect the previous support right over here at 149,500 or 300, whatever you want to call it, right over here, this whole zone down here. Then we come right back up to retest the trend, right? And then we form a double bottom almost, where we come up, create this support, come right back up, form another support. We never break the low of this wick, right? And then price continues right back up. What do? We consolidate in here, retap the trend line, and then we continue right back down with this move right over here. Right? So history repeats itself. You see what happened right over here. You see what happened right over here, right here, right? And even right here, 156. So, you know, this is a great play for you, especially once we break this support right over here, that you could take price down. Now, you could get caught by that liquidity grab right there, but this is a nice move right over here, where if you took a sell, putting your stop loss right up here over the weekend, actually over, yeah, I would say last weekend, you could have grabbed this entire move as a swing trade. But most of us are scalpers in here. But these are some of the things that you can be journaling and creating a tab or a label on Trello as like, you know, it could be like an experimental trade or a swing trade. You know, something that you're not used to taking, but it's like, okay, I could have grabbed this whole move. How could I have done this? How can I take notes on how I could enter this? You know, you could always be taking a scalp over here with a tight stop loss and then placing another trade based on percentage with a wider stop loss just to catch the whole move, right? That's always a good practice to have while you're trading, especially while you're scalping. So kind of like dynamic risk. Reese, do you know what dynamic risk is? Carlos, all you guys?
No, I'm not familiar.
Okay. So static risk is where you place one trade on, you know, one position on your trade, and that's it. Like if you're risking 2% on that trade, you're going to be doing that. Hold on. I'm just going back and forth with GJ over here. Kind of like the movement is 7:30. I'll break this down in a second, but 7:30 is about to happen. So I want to see a break and close below the 30-minute. But I think based on the 1 hour, this is a setup that I typically like. I'm going to place my calculator here. But again, I need that close below support before taking this. Reese, you're probably not too familiar with what I'm saying right now, but it's going to start to catch on once we get to the lower time frames. But I know everyone else, you know, knows my rules and what I'm talking about. So again, GJ, very bearish. No reason to be buying this right now. You got extremely bearish daily candles. Liquidity grab right here. Candle flips bearish. This candle creates its top wick, passed the low over here last night, and we just tank, right? Got a clean move to the left. We should be coming right back down to this area. There's no reason for us to randomly just form a support right here and continue up. What could happen is that we do create a support, we come right back up to retest this area, or we end up retesting that trend line over here, and then we continue down. But, you really, as a swing trader, if you are a swing trader, you don't want to be taking any kind of buys unless we tap into this area. But safe buys are going to be above this resistance right up here. If we get a nice close above that resistance, we could be coming up. Into this level right here. Want me to do this? Yeah, somewhere in there. So this could be a nice play if we do end up breaking this area, create a support, then continue right back up here, and then we could end up continuing that way right back up to 156. But right now, everything is bearish. Now, taking a look at the 4-hour right now. Actually, if we go back to the daily, I'm just going to draw this zone real quick. Got that resistance right over here. And then we have a significant area right over here at 151,500 where price rejected multiple times. We had a previous support over here. Price held resistance until we broke above over here. And then we created this resistance right here. Rejected multiple times, multiple days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 days in a row, about a week and a half right here that we rejected. Then we ended up really grabbing liquidity, failed to break above this level up here, which we can always mark off if you want. And we ended up flipping bearish, closing below, and then we just continued to ride down until, after grabbing liquidity right here and tapping into that trend line again. So looking at the 4-hour now, we have our levels marked off. We ended up breaking the support right here. And this was kind of like a fake out where we created this fake out up here, closed below previous support right here, consolidated, grabbed orders, came right back up, grabbed liquidity, retapped that trend line over here, and then ended up closing below support, retesting it a little bit, and then just dropping. And this was yesterday during the Asian session. So right now, we ended up closing below this level right here, right, with this candle. So we got a clean close below the previous support. You got a clean move right down here to bring us right back down to 149,400 or even 300 right down here. So how many pips do you have in here that you could possibly play with? Times at 727. Oh, wrong. There we go. You got about 75, 80 pips in here. That's a good range. The current 4-hour candle, the next 4-hour candle opens at 9 o'clock. So the current one already created a top wick over here and flipped bearish and passed the low of that candle. So there's still a high probability that we could continue right back down unless we, just kind of start to consolidate over here, which we're doing on the lower time frames. But right now, I think we're about to close below that support, which is good. Looking at the 1-hour, this is that setup I talk about. Now, the more you journal your trades and study your trades, the more you're going to start to see certain setups that you like. And this is one that certainly appeals to me. But again, I'm just waiting on the 30-minute for a solid close below that area because we can easily reject. And that's going to happen a lot with you if you start to enter trades too early and you get impatient and you feel like you're going to miss the trade. You could very well miss the trade, but at the same time, you're being safe and you're being smart and sticking to your rules, which is even more important by creating that habit and listening to yourself and sticking to your word when it comes to trading in the market. It's going to create that confidence. And when you create confidence, eventually you're going to be able to increase your risk, right? You're going to be able to increase lot size. And that's when trading gets fun. So again, I've always liked this where we create this low over here. We're extremely bearish. We get a bullish candle that comes up, grabs liquidity, and ends up closing a very weak candle over here with a wick below. Once the next candle creates its top wick and then passes the low of that candle, this normally drops, right? So this is going to be a good play. It should be if we do get that close below support over here on the 30-minute, because we've had multiple rejections right here of this support right here. You got that bullish candle, got this candle rejecting over here, got a bullish candle right here. This candle could very well in the last minute reject, hold support, and then continue right back up. What's up, buddy? Hold on one second, guys. All right, so we got a minute until 7:30 comes in. You might be seeing me take a live trade, Reese. So this is going to help you. Like I said yesterday, being on these live streams are going to help you a lot, with your trading. So let's see if we did get that close below. It's a weaker close below, but based on the 1 hour, I like this setup a lot. So right now we are passing the low of the next 30-minute. Oop. All right, so we're not on GA, we're on GJ. There we go. So this is that ideal setup. David, are you in this? Gio, you in this?
Yeah, for sure. It's clean.
Good
Yeah,
setup,
I'm on
right?
this one. I
It's
entered
clean
in
as
the 1
fuck.
hour.
I'm sorry, Gio, what was that?
I entered on the 1 hour. Same
Awesome.
thing.
Beautiful. So right here, let me just do all this unnecessary crap. putting there on there. Right now, I am in this from here with my stop loss above the previous 30-minute candle, anticipating price to drop about 40 pips right over here. I'm going to be securing at 1-to-1, about 18 pips, and we should be good. But based on the 1 hour, normally this just drops. We already retested the wick right over here, so we'll see what we get. But I do like this setup a lot. Now, you're going to see me journal as well. And I can always put my journal on the screen here for you. So, Reese, have you seen my journal yet?
I was taking a look at it a few days ago.
Okay, cool. Did it make sense to you? Do you understand like how I set everything up?
Yeah, I'm just getting used to like doing the descriptions and stuff like that. So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that'll come. But it's super important to do it. It's going to seem tedious at times. You're not going to want to do it, but super important because that's where you grow as a person. That's how you grow as a trader, where you're constantly adding to that. And then also, I mentioned to you what the AARs were yesterday, right?
After action report.
Exactly. So you're going to be doing this journal, the physical journal of studying the move and what happened and what you could have done better. But when it comes to the psychological part, which is almost the most important thing when it comes to trading, you're going to be, writing down your thoughts, what you did during the session, how you felt, what emotions came out of you. It's like a diary. Like you're going to feel like a little girl doing this. But it's very beneficial and you get much better for it. Constantly taking tedious notes on yourself. Like it can only go one way and that's up. Like you can only get better from it. Right. A lot of people think like, all right, I really don't need to do this. I'm getting better with my trading. I feel good. I feel confident. But at the same time, how much better could you be if you paid attention to details at that rate, at that rate of a clip, where you're just like paying attention to literally everything. you could be so much better. So it's the same thing with journaling. Like if you feel like you're a good trader and you really don't need to be journaling, imagine how much better you'd be if you studied your trades and were a lot better at journaling yourself. So anyway, so we got oh, sorry about that, David. So you said
how about your stop loss?
My stop loss is above the previous 30-minute.
I was gonna say what, 15 pips?
It's about 18 pips right here.
18 pips. I kind of moved my stop loss already to the new 30 minutes high. Because if it flips at this point, I don't think it's.
You're sitting right here?
Yeah.
No, that's a good idea. And so like instead of
it's already like what? It's like almost 10 pips already coming down.
Well, the current 30-minute.
It's already like 10 pips.
For me, not yet. I'm at.
Oh, not for you.
Yeah, because I entered as we passed the low of that candle. Did you enter at the candle close?
Yeah, when it closed, I entered.
Cool, great work. Yeah, I was just looking at this candle and breaking this down for you guys as well. But as we passed the low of that candle, that's where I entered. It's just a little bit more of a safer entry, just because you have all these rejections in this area. You could technically create a zone right over here where you rejected this whole area right over here multiple times, and then you get that safe entry after a small top wick over here is formed, and then we pass the low of that candle. Like that's just a little bit safer of an entry. But we technically did get that close below with this candle. We got a little bit of a fake out right over here as well. So right now you're going to see me journal this trade. And what I do is I take multiple pictures of each time frame, just so I have an understanding. And when you come back to your journal, let's say, I don't know, a couple months down the road, you're going to be able to understand why you were taking the trade based on the higher time frames as well. Short GJ, that's what you want to do when it comes to journaling. Pip gain on Reese, this all makes sense to you in a little bit. 9, 20, 21 at what time do we take?
Yeah, I got about a few minutes before I gotta go to work, but
sounds good, brother.
Yeah.
Like I said, this will be on YouTube, so you can go back and rewatch it today. If, you know, where you get a 2, right?
Yeah.
They hit that gym.
Yeah, I'm gonna go gym right after work, so get that part in, get it done.
Oh yeah. Let's go. Now, did you come up with a fitness goal?
Well, I weighed myself yesterday at about 200, trying to get to 180.
Okay. 180.
Hopefully 6 months.
So
6 months time.
Realistically, if you stay consistent with everything you do, I could see you losing 2 pounds a week healthily, right? I think anything over that, maybe like two or three, you're gonna probably need like double sessions, and also you might be losing weight a little bit too fast. Gio, correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like losing 2, if you're on a goal to lose weight, you're also trying to build muscle as well. I think 2 pounds is pretty realistic, correct?
2 pounds per week.
Per week.
If you're trying to build muscle, actually, I think that would be difficult because
okay. So you're thinking less.
Yeah, because I mean, me personally, I don't want to go too heavy on cardio when I'm trying to build muscle.
Sure.
So yeah, because also I actually try to do low intensity whenever I try to maintain muscle.
Low intensity as far as cardio or weights?
Cardio.
Okay.
So because well, I don't know, I just seen people, based on if you try to see if you try to look at athletes who are doing a high intensity cardio, you can tell that they're very lean, and they don't have that much muscle mass, just like how, well, I think it's different. It's different for athletes and different for like bodybuilders.
Yeah.
So if you're trying to maintain muscle, you want to do as much as you don't want to do a high intensity cardio because while losing fat, you're also losing some part of your muscle. So I mean, it's a total different ball game for if you the way you train. So, but for me personally, losing a pound to a pound and a half per week is ideal to keep the muscle that if I start bulking and build the muscle, and when I want to retain most of the muscle, I just want to lose a pound to a pound and a half per week.
So two things. I agree with that when it comes to yourself and I that work out pretty consistently, and we're in pretty good shape. But I'm saying somebody that's just coming into the game or hasn't worked out too much consistently, or just trying to get back in shape, right? I feel like those people lose weight a lot easier
Yes.
if they stay consistent with their cardio, and it really depends on your goal. Like obviously,
Right.
Reese, I know you're trying to gain muscle, but you're also probably trying to lose weight. You want to lose 20 pounds. So I feel like if you stay consistent, let's say you do the Stairmaster for 20 minutes a day. Now it's going to be pretty difficult right now, just getting back into it. But like, I don't know. Let's say do what I do when what I put on my story, or what I've been putting in the fitness channel. I warm up with a high intensity incline walk on 10 at a speed of 4 on the treadmill for 20 minutes, and I'm drenched after that. Right? I'm like ready to go. It's a great warm up for me. If you do that every single day, you're going to be losing weight. Now, I also follow that with a row machine as well, like a high intensity 5 minutes on the row machine, as fast as you can for 5 minutes at least. That'll be good for you as well. But for people that are just getting back into fitness and you stay consistent with your cardio, don't have to kill yourself. I know what I just said probably sounds like a lot to some people just getting back into the fitness. This pertains to anybody on YouTube as well. But here we go. We just grabbed 10 pips.
I just hit 1-to-1.
Awesome. Love it.
Yeah, you said 1-to-1.
Good shot. Good job, guys.
I'm
All
gonna
right,
hit
boys.
2-2.
I gotta get going.
Okay, Reese. I will.
I'll
I'll
see you
talk
guys
to you
tomorrow
later.
if there's a live session.
What was that?
See you guys tomorrow if there's live session tomorrow.
Yes, sir. We're gonna hold on. When you work out, post it in the fitness channel. Let us know like what you're doing and what you're working on, and then if you take any trades throughout the day, just let me know and post it in the group, and then we'll talk later.
Yeah.
All right,
Boys,
brother.
have a good day.
All right, you too, brother.
Have a good one, brother.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
bro. Okay, bye.
But yeah, like I was saying to you, I think it's a lot easier for people just getting back into fitness to lose some weight.
Yeah, I would actually highly suggest just do the compound workouts.
Let's go.
Um,
2%.
yep. There's
I just canceled 2 take profits, and I'm just leaving one where that's my target. That's where I think price is going to come, and then have that possible runner. I'm now at break even, but let me just journal this trade real quick. I mean, you guys know how I journal, so I don't really have to explain it too much. You guys can see what I'm doing. Did you guys end up taking that personality test that Reese was sending, or resent in the general chat?
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh yeah,
Actually-
go to the general chat on Slack when you get a chance, when you're done with this trade. I think it's pretty interesting. Not so much the results of it, but the main thing that I was looking at was the the questions that they ask you. I think they ask you like 50 different questions about your personality, but what they do is these are questions that like I would take this test every day, because you're reading these questions and they really make you question yourself, really bring you back to your core of trying to gain momentum, or trying to stay driven and all that stuff, but also becoming a better person as well. These are like thought-provoking questions that it's like, wow, am I doing this? Like, should I be doing that? all that stuff. The results, not so much. It said I was a, hold on, it's pretty funny. General chat. Yeah, it said I was a protagonist. Now, the only reason I think it did that, yeah, and I don't think that's true at all. What I think it did was I said they give you 5 or 6 options for your result or for your question, like either extremely, agreeing or extremely disagreeing, and you could go in between there. And they asked, "Do you enjoy watching people argue?" And growing up, I've loved, contact sports. I've loved fighting. I watched I pay attention to the UFC and a lot of like the pre-fight stuff that goes on, and the arguments and all that stuff. I've always liked that. And now I'm somebody that doesn't like the cause drama. Like I'm not part of drama. You guys know me in the Forex industry. I'm not about that. I ignore it, focus on myself. I get my shit done. But I do enjoy watching other people fight. I don't know. That's just always been, who doesn't like watching other people argue? I feel like that's like, is that not am I the only one here?
Yeah, I get it.
I like a good debate.
Right? Like I'll sit there and watch that all the time. Like I don't want to be part of it, but you guys want to argue and settle some beef, then do it. I'll sit back and watch. So what I did was I agreed with that, and that was the only question that really pertained to, something that would lead this test is thinking that I'm a protagonist. But I thought that was funny when that came out, because I'm definitely not a protagonist at all. But highly recommend taking this test, because it's not so much for the results. I mean, a lot of people in the group said that the results were very very accurate. For me, they weren't, but what I liked was the questions a lot. I think the questions were awesome. But again, it's in the general chat if you want to take a look. Great trade to start the week, boys.
It was really clean move.
I
GU too. I missed GU because of GJ, and I was like, it's too late already. Okay.
Miss GU because of GJ.
Yeah, but it's really clean. The same, almost same setup. Same setup.
Awesome. I actually took this right over here, this candle, and secured down here, and that was okay, Carlos. And that was my first trade in the morning. And I'll show you exactly what I did in a second. Bearish move during London. Now, since I have 2 screens, I'm just gonna put the journaling on the other. I just wanted Reese to be able to see that. He's been in the group for a little bit now, but what happened was, and you guys might be able to relate, but he took that personality test and it kind of woke him up to like, okay, I'm not doing as much as I should be doing right now, as much as I possibly could be doing. And it kind of woke him up a little bit. And now he's, progressively gaining momentum a little bit in his life, trying to get back into fitness, getting back into the markets and everything. He's asking himself these thought-provoking questions, and he's kind of getting back into it. So he'll be showing up to the lives. He also is kind of hesitant on showing up to the lives because his he just didn't think he was ready. He wanted to go through the course and everything, but I was able to get him in here because I think this is very valuable for him. So 30-minute bearish move during London.
Dropping.
David, fill me in about your party. Meet any ladies?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, I got some girls.
I like it. Keeping your mind off the breakup.
Yeah, well, like I still have it on my social media.
You still have your social media, you said?
I had her on my social media, like Instagram. I still had her on Snapchat.
Okay.
And but she went out that day. Like the only reason why I went out because she went out with my ex. Like to
Oh,
hang out.
I thought you meant your friend for a second. I don't know why I thought.
Nah,
I was like,
no,
whoa,
with my ex, bro.
that's
I'm like, what the
yeah, that's so annoying.
yeah, she went out with my ex. I was like, so then I told my mom, like, yo, I'm definitely going to that party, and I had fun. I posted I was in Monmouth and there was girls. And I like around 5 in the morning, bro, when I got home, she blew my phone.
Oh my god.
She's like, oh, now it's just for real, done. You fucked up, this and that. And to be honest, I was like, I just left her unopened. So I even got her more mad.
Gotta be yeah, there you go. Unbothered. Like
Yeah.
you're taking all the right steps. You're just
Yeah, I already told her I'll back her. And as I'm gonna go out, now you saying that we're done. After you told me that we're already done.
just getting jealous. And when you
Yeah,
act
and
like
then,
you don't care, there you go.
yeah, and then yesterday, she was still like trying to like talk to me and everything about like, oh, you fuck, like like you messed up and this and that, going there and this and that. So I kind of took a hard decision yesterday, but I did it, and I blocked her for everything.
There you go.
I blocked her for
Good
for
strength right there.
everything because it also about like how girls are like something. I'm not saying all girls, but like this girl used like be posting things that has to do with me.
Mm.
Like about oh, you can never show somebody this and that, and then like I don't know her, then like she be posting sad things, So I was like, it gets me mad when I see those type of things because I know it's for me,
Yeah.
no one else,
Yeah.
And so I just blocked her from all social media.
The thing is, like, this goes for everything. The more you think logically instead of emotionally, the better off you're going to be in life in any kind of situation. That goes for trading. That goes for relationships. Obviously, with relationships, there's more heart involved. There's more emotions involved. But like when it comes to a breakup, you got to think logically. How do successful people deal with the breakup and kind of get over it quickly, or at a pace that they want to? You just kind of put it in the past. It's done. There's plenty of other women out there. You guys have been going out for a long time. And for any girls that are watching this right now on YouTube, not right now, but the recording, try not, like, this will help you too. Try not to get so emotionally involved. And that breakup happened for a reason. Now, if you guys are just on a little break and, trying to find yourselves, you guys are younger, I get it. You guys stay in contact and all that stuff. But when it comes to, just either an ugly breakup or something, maybe one of you hurt each other. I can't believe I'm giving relationship advice right now. Maybe it's just done. You got 7 billion people out there, maybe 3 billion of the opposite sex. It's just put it in the past. It's done. You can meet somebody else, especially if you're younger. You got so much more time. You don't have to, that one person is not the only person. So David, I think you're doing all the right things, and I'm sure ladies out there hearing this, that are watching this, would agree as well, because you guys know they either side, guys could do this too, where the girl doesn't feel like, or not putting as much effort in anymore, or kind of ignoring the whole situation. That gets the other opposite sex pretty fired up, or caring more. Like if a girl sees that you don't care anymore, that's going to make them care even more. So like, do with that what you will as far as handling any kind of a situation. But that'll
and like,
I think you're doing all the right things.
And check it. And then I feel like she's I blocked her, and I let her know too. I like, you look, I'm gonna block you. I'm not in a, like in a bad way. It's like I think it's better, for me and also for you, cause we just keep throwing things in social media, and I don't want to look like a little kid.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm already like 20. I don't want to look like that.
Yeah. Whenever
And
you find yourself trying to post something on social media, just think in
yeah,
your
so
head,
I
like,
just,
is this an
I just had
emotional
to block
decision
her.
or logical?
And then I also feel like if she really try to fix this and that, bro, like she would come to me. You feel me? Because I already did all the things, so she would come to me.
Exactly. Instead
If
of
she's the right one, and after I told her everything, everything, like we try to fix it, and she don't want to, then yes, it's not for me. She's not that good for me.
yeah, man.
I just told her it's not too late when she comes. Go,
There you go.
once I start making money, be successful in trading, I don't
It's-
want her back.
Dude, yeah, you're very young right now, and then you're very young, and the fact that you're trying to go the entrepreneurial route, the fact that you've been in that relationship for a long time, and now it's starting to fester, it's starting to come to an end, I guess you could say. This is a blessing in disguise for you, just like we went over privately. um, this is where you can focus on yourself. You don't have any distractions. You don't have a girl that you feel like you got to take out on the weekends. Now you could save some money and invest that money. You don't have many bills to pay. You can work. You can focus on yourself. A lot of the time that you'd be paying attention to that significant other is now going to go towards Forex, and you're going to get better at it for it. And then you can hibernate right now. If you meet a girl that you like, you guys can hook up or whatever, but you make it clear right now I'm focusing on myself. I'm early in my trading journey. I just want to focus on this and business. Make it clear to her what you want, and that she's going to respect you for it, because you're not going to be wasting her time. If she wants a relationship, maybe that's not the relationship that you want right now. Not yet, at least. And I know you feel like you want it right after a relationship. You want to hop into another one, but just try to fight that right now. And
I'm not gonna lie. Yes, I kind of felt like, yo, now like,
yeah,
I know it's
feel
a text. It's so weird.
And you also, in ways, maybe you do or maybe you don't, but a lot of people like to make the other person jealous by getting into a relationship right away after.
No, yeah,
So
no.
you don't want to be doing that either.
Nah.
But
I
anyway,
told this my mom person. I was like, yo, if I really done with her, I'm not looking for another girl until like I make this,
dude, you're making
like
all the
3,
right
4,
moves
4
right now.
years. Once I'm already making money, I have my own little house, my own apartment. Now I'll probably look for a girl. But after this one, I'm just gonna be like all in for this,
Yeah, man, you've been in a
trading
relationship for how many years? Like, enjoy
for
yourself a
4
little
and a
bit.
half. This year was gonna be 5 December.
There you go. Enjoy yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
Tiger, what's up, brother?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Looks like you got a nice trading.
What's up?
Looks like you got a nice trading.
Yeah. We I actually grabbed. Actually, I'm gonna break this one down for you guys too. But before the live session, I grabbed this candle right here, and ended up securing down here and then closing based on the 15-minute. I'll show you in a second. Just 30-minute stop loss move to break even. Okay, so first of all, how did that loss taste?
Man,
I'm just playing with it.
it was a bad overall football day. I was just mad Seattle lost.
Yeah, that was a game. We had a couple good games this week.
Yeah, we just blew it.
Dude, the Cardinal Vikings game was wild too.
I saw that. I wasn't really like watching it, but I saw like the score updates. I was like, what's going on over there?
Yeah, that was pretty wild. But anyway, let's take a look over here. So this trade, obviously we created this low during the London session, and then we came up to create some kind of a resistance. Respect this resistance over here, and we never broke below, right? If you take a look right here, or we never broke above and closed above. We just rejected multiple times. With this candle, multiple times over here. So when this candle right over here grabbed liquidity and then ended up flipping bearish and passing the low of that candle, I thought with that volume before 6 o'clock that we could get some kind of a volume push to push below this candle and then continue right back down, right? So what happened was I ended up securing over here, entering as we broke the low of that candle right there, putting my stop loss above that current candle, about 14 pips away. Stop loss was, or take profit was down here. Price ended up dropping 10 pips right here, where I ended up securing 80%. And then what happened on the 15-minute? 15-minute ended up closing right over here, which I was fine with. 15-minute ended up closing at support, right? So we could have very well formed a support, which we ended up doing, but this candle ended up passing the low of that candle and continuing right back down. So I secured obviously at my pip count, but when this candle started to flip bullish over here, I closed the full thing, right? There was a high probability if we flip bullish right here on the 15-minute that we could hold a support, form a double bottom like we did, and then continue up. But we ended up failing to break above that area, kind of created a fake out over here. Not so much, but you know, we had this resistance right here. We get the candle closing above, closing right back into the range, and then we just drop. Right, so that was the first trade that I took, and then this one, Tiger, I know you weren't on the stream, but we were just taking a look at this. We get the fake out over here. What I was waiting for was I was breaking down the higher time frames, and I was looking at this around 7. What was it, like 720, 723, and what I was waiting for was this candle to close below support over here, and we did get that close below, but like I was pointing out before, we have all these wicks in here where this could have been like kind of like that fake close below and end up just rejecting and continuing up or consolidating in here. So what I did, David entered as this candle closed. I entered as this candle passed the low of that candle right over here. And then once we got to our 14 pip move, I know what my stop loss was at, 17 pips. And I said I was going to secure at 17, but you know, we were starting to stall a little bit in here. So what I did was I just closed, plus I already took a trade. I closed 50% twice over here. And I moved my stop loss above the current 30-minute candle. And then we dropped a little bit more, and I just moved my stop loss to break even. I also, you know, I use dynamic risk, which I don't think I finished explaining to Reese before. But I use dynamic risk. I canceled 2 take profits, and I left 1 in, which just got hit. So we'll see what we end up doing over here. So right now we're risk free.
That's the trade that I missed. So it's really clean.
What's up, buddy?
I sent the trade that I missed.
Oh, okay. Oh, what on GEU?
Yeah, it was really clean.
Perfect. You journaling it?
Yeah, I'm just for right now, since I'm going to work right now, I kind of put down like what I was thinking. I probably journal it once I'm at work. If it's not busy, I'm gonna start
Okay.
journaling like for real.
Yeah, I like this.
But I just having an idea like what I was thinking at that moment.
Exactly. Yeah, what you have right here. You got these lower highs. Get that tap over here, and you basically paid attention exactly what happened in all those areas where we just got that drop.
Yeah.
So you ended up taking this. You saw the bearish candle close. What made you take it down
It's
here?
got 15 minutes. Was it like the 15 minutes that I put my entry?
Okay. So is this the 30-minute?
Yeah, it's a 30-minute.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you also, with this candle, we ended up breaking below that EMA. What EMA is that?
Was that 8th?
It's the 8 EMA?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So that gives you more confluence. I like this right here. Like all your confluences, everything that you're looking for to take that trade and to enter that trade, you put it all in there. These are the different things. This is your criteria every time?
Yeah. So yeah. Like I said, it's like the more important thing is like my downtrend. Sometimes I use fibs. Like I said, moving average always like my last,
Yeah, I
But-
noticed that. So
Yeah.
that golden zone was that 61.8.
Yep. And like link traffic. We got volume. Remember, it was already in New York. So
Also, it's a strong
Yeah.
time frame. It's a 30-minute.
yep.
You break below that EMA. I don't know if that's in your rules, but adds more confluence for you.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, but
Beautiful.
all right, bro. I see you. I'm going to work.
All right, brother. Nice having you on.
See
I'll
you
see you
guys.
tomorrow. Have a great day at work, buddy.
All right, you too, bro. I mean, bye, bye.
Are you hitting golds today?
Yeah, after work.
Good shit, man. Post it in the chat.
All right. See you guys.
All
Bye.
I like how he has the what's it called? All that criteria there on this chart. It's great. Yeah, crazy games yesterday, Tiger.
I'm just mad. Seattle. I can't believe they blew that.
Are you a Seattle fan, or do you have a bet in or something?
No, yeah, I'm just a Seattle fan.
Oh, okay. So this is gonna be this Evergrande deal over here. I don't know, Gio, were you looking into it at all?
Not really.
Not really. Okay. Tiger, did you hear about this Evergrande over in China?
No.
So they're talking. Here's the quote right here. How Evergrande could turn into China's Lehman Brothers. So this is like a real estate firm that owes the government, I think, 130 billion in bonds and let's see, 309 billion of debts on its books, and they're thinking that there's some liquidity issues right now, and that they're not going to be able to pay it. And look, like many of China's too big to fail conglomerates, Evergrande's crisis has fueled speculation over whether the government will step in for the rescue. So this could turn into Lehman Brothers, where Lehman Brothers was the only bank, I believe, or I think there was one more during the 2008 market crash that the government actually let fail. And then after that, they started bailing some banks out in different industries as well. But what was I looking at? I forget. It's all good. Yeah, it's gonna be pre-markets. So the pre-markets are all down right now because that could send a little shock through the market. Actually, I haven't looked at teletrader in a minute. Dow Jones down 0.5%, NASDAQ down 600 points. Sell-off continues. It just sucks. Also, we have the Fed talking this week, like we went over earlier. So, we got to pay attention to what's going on. And Joe Biden and their administration is trying to push another $5 trillion through, I was just say 3.5. I keep seeing that it's 5. Gio, do you know anything about this infrastructure bill?
It's 3.5, and Joe Manchin is, I think, trying to go against it. He was saying he's only going to vote yes if it's 1.5.
Okay. it's pretty ironic that two Democratic senators are the ones kind of saving this country right now.
Yep.
But I was seeing 5 trillion. I have Bloomberg on right now. They were saying it's 5. So we'll see. Today, Pfizer revealed it. Yeah, teletrader's great. If you guys it's like a whole database over here. It's free as well. Good resource. We'll move that over here. So right now, is anybody still in GJ?
I still have a runner.
Cool. You secured most of it, or you just
Yeah, I secured 80% 1-to-1.
love it? Good way to start the week.
Yes, sir. I'm at 30 pips right now, my runner.
Beautiful. Yeah, I'm at 21. Smart trades this week. Oh, Tiger, you the turbulent architect.
Yeah.
I was just telling them that would you suggest other people take that?
I sent it to a bunch of other people, but
That's awesome.
they never responded. So
I think there are a lot of questions. I think there's close to like 50, right? Maybe
Yeah.
even more. I thought there was only going to be 16 questions. Obviously, I wasn't paying attention to the actual title of it.
pretty accurate though.
Yeah, a lot of people said the results were accurate. I don't think they were accurate for myself, but what I did get out of it was the questions. For those of you guys that are going to be watching on YouTube, this is the test right here. Go to 16personalities.com and just take the test. And you can read about it obviously as much as you want as well. But these are very thought-provoking questions that, like, I think personally it would be a good idea to take this test almost every day, or at least to like start your week, right? It's, take this every Sunday. You read these questions and they make you wonder or realize, like, am I doing enough? Could I be doing more? How could I be a better person? Focuses on everything: strengths and weaknesses, romantic relationship, friendships, parenthood, career paths, workplace habits, conclusion. It's got a lot to do with a lot of that stuff. So at some point I want to read all this and really get into it. But I appreciate resending that in. GJ's still on its way down. Tiger, I think that's a good idea. I was just reading your message.
Yeah, I mean, it's just gonna be a lot about like growing rather than like holding it as an income.
Yeah, of course.
So if I can just keep growing the account, then I think that would be just the plan. That way I have like a goal in mind.
Yeah. Is that what it's been, or you increased it to that amount?
Just increased it.
Okay, cool. So you would say that's enough to get you up at 3 a.m?
Yeah,
Trade?
definitely.
Cool. Because like I said, I know how that is. When you're either trading demo or a small amount, after a while, like first it's fine because you're focusing on building the skill, getting better at your craft, just placing smart trades, managing trades the right way. But after a while, it starts to become stagnant. You're not into it as much. It's harder to wake up because it's like, all right, I'm not making much. I'm making $5-10, or some people only making, trading mini lots and they're making like $2, right? $2 is like a big trade to them. After a while, I can see how that gets boring. Even if you are focusing on the skill, you're focusing on all the right things, it's still like, all right, when am I actually going to see some money? Because to be honest, we all get in this to make money. But again, I always say it, there has to be a certain point that you find that passion, that you just love trading, you love backtesting, you love journaling your trades, getting better on a daily basis, writing down in that AAR some of the different things that you need to be doing, how you're feeling, capturing just every little detail that you possibly can about your trading. The more you do that, you're going to start to see a massive turn in the next couple months, even weeks. If you stay consistent doing this from Monday to Friday every single week, you're going to see a big progression in the next 2-3 weeks. It might not be monetary, like you might not be growing your account by 15-20% in a week, but you're going to start to see progress, and your eyes are going to get more trained, and you're going to feel more confident in taking that trade. And then that's where you exploit those high probability trades. See, you want to focus on taking 1-2% per trade, right? But when you get those high probability setups like we saw today, like I risked more on this. I risked more like 3 or 4% on this because I've seen this set up so many different times, multiple times. We've seen it on the live stream together multiple times. That's why David had no problem taking this. Gio had no problem taking this. Gio, you said you took this based on the 1 hour, right?
Yes, sir.
Because of this setup. When you get that low created, you get that liquidity grab and a weak bullish candle closing with a bottom wick, and then the next candle forms its top wick and then passes the low in a high volume time, this candle drops. You guys should take note of that. Anybody watching this on YouTube, take note of that, because you can take advantage of this setup on GJ a lot of the time. You could do it on gold as well. I've seen it on gold. Gold to get a lot of pips on that. Gold, this might be 2-3 times the amount of pips, especially on the 1 hour. This is such a strong 1 hour setup.
Yeah, I hopped on the Trading View Pro, so just over the
Oh,
last
good
week,
shit.
yeah, just been live back testing.
There you go. Yeah, that'll be good with the rewind tool. And that's all you need, just the basic plan, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, you don't need all the other mumbo jumbo. 30-minute. Further drop. Let's go to the 1 hour. So this setup right here is what I'll put in. I have that column in my Trello of setups, and this is that setup that you kind of have to create different names for it, but I call it the impulse volume push. Like obviously you got your classic break and retest and everything, but classic volume push is the one thing I could think of. Let's do a screenshot of this. J 30-minute. It's the 1 hour. 9. 20. 7 a.m. Yeah. Right. Campus flow, okay. Just journaling right now. So this is that setup journal I was talking about, that you guys could create that setups column right up here, and then whatever your ideal setups are. This is so good, such a good practice. If you go back and look at like all these, just take a glance at each setup, like one example of them, and right before your session, just so that you train your eyes, you know exactly what you're looking for. And if you don't get any of those setups, you're only going to be journaling those trades. That's it. So right over here, this is that volume push that we talk about, that I was just talking about. Now this is something a little bit different on gold that I've been paying attention to see how often this happens. But typically I like a bottom wick formed on this candle right over here, so that we have more of a range. See right over here where we have a candle, strong bearish candle with no bottom wick. The next candle is a bullish candle that passed the low of that candle, but ended up coming all the way back up. It didn't pass the high of that candle right over here, but we ended up closing bullish. Not that that's a strong bullish candle, but it's not a weak one either, I would say. But the next one created its top wick and then passed the low over here, passed the low of this area, or flip bearish. So if you know we're coming down here, could possibly enter, or more conservatively, you wait for the break of that candle right over here before you take that. But typically on the setup, I like to see that bottom wick right over here. I'll just draw it out for you. Like, I like when it looks like this. And then you enter as it passes the low of that bullish candle. So that's an example on gold. That was the first one. Here's on the 15-minute. Take a look at that. Strong bearish move. You got that support right over here. Got a bottom wick formed on that candle. You got a doji candle closing. And then as this candle created its top wick and then flipped bearish, it just dropped all the way back down into this area. Again, GJ, this is the ideal setup that I look for. You create this strong bearish candle. There we go, blue, with a wick to fill. Weak bullish candle right over here with the top wick. Right over here, you enter as price passes the low of that candle with your stop loss right here. And just go back and journal these trades and backtest this setup over here. You'll see it happens a lot, especially during high volume time. That's key. You want this candle to be during 8:15, something like that. You know, for price to continue pushing bearish pretty hard. Now, sometimes we end up rejecting and, you know, kind of closing around this area, just like we saw in the other example. But yeah, that's why it's a good point to secure. But over here, you could have left a runner right here and caught this whole move, right? And still been in this, just like maybe we get today. Here's another one right over here. History repeats itself. Same thing happens every single time. Get this bearish move coming all the way down with a wick right here, weak bullish candle with a huge top wick over here. We actually ended up passing the high of this candle right here. But the next candle ended up flipping bearish, passing the low of that candle right here and just dropping. Now, you guys have been trading for a while, so that makes sense to you, right?
Yep.
And then here's the one from today. Oh, somebody. Anybody listen to the Trading Coach podcast? Akil Stokes?
No, I never heard of him.
No, it's a good podcast if you guys want to take a look at it. But I like his material a lot. But he pointed out a good idea, or just gave a little hint, or not hint, but just like a tip. Trading View. He said this is one of the best features that you have on here is the text notes. You can put notes here if you're back testing, and this is going to be saved to each pair. So if you want to put a note like this, like if you don't have something like Trello or your AARs, this would be a good idea for you, that you could just type notes like, okay, this happens at this time on this pair. Keep an eye out for this. I don't know. He was just saying that this is a good idea, so I wanted to see what he was talking about. There's a lot of features on TradingView I really don't use too much. And I think you would if you use a lot of indicators and stuff like that. But nonetheless, if you don't use indicators, there's still a ton of features for you. It's a good way to start a Monday. We'll see what we get coming into tomorrow and especially Wednesday when it comes to some of these FOM policy statements, not FOMC, but monetary policy statements coming out of some of these other countries. Like right now, we got Australia coming in. Monetary policy, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So this will be interesting. Got a federal election coming out of Canada. But then we got Japan Tuesday. We have our statement and our funds coming out on Wednesday. A lot of euro data coming out. Germany, France, euro, pound, and then the pound's monetary policy statement on Thursday following the U.S. So I'm sure it's going to be very similar. And then Friday, we got Powell speaking. We also have flash services and manufacturing PMI coming out 9:45 on Thursday as well. So we got an eventful week. We got some volume pumping in, so that's good. Plus, not to mention Evergrande, we got to see what happens today with this. They're saying a contagion, so this could send a ripple down effect through the U.S., through global markets, through other real estate property development firms in China as well. They could be, following suit where they're not able to pay as well, and this could rattle the markets pretty tough. So, let's take a look. Oh, also the final thing, Friday, I think they're voting on the infrastructure bill, if that's what you want to call it. So that's another thing that we're waiting on. So we got an eventful week. We got a lot of volume pumping in.
think we might see a bullish week for gold?
For gold, we could actually. You know what? We didn't. We never broke down gold. Let's take a look at gold. Really depends on what the statement's going to be. Are they going to be more? Are they going to be hawkish, or like what is Powell going to say on Friday? A lot has to do, like when it comes to the Fed monetary policy statement. Evergrande, like this real estate move right over here. If they're not able to do that, that might rattle the Fed a little bit and say, okay, maybe we're not ready. This could happen to us, and they could delay tapering as well. So if that's the case, then you're going to see gold rise. You're going to see the dollar start to fall a little bit. Actually, this could really rattle the market, but we'll see. We got so many different fundamentals coming out this week that, a lot could do a lot, if that makes sense. So the monthly over here holding this resistance, right? I won't do all the trend lines. You guys know the trend that we pay attention to. Also pay attention to our key levels over here. Wow, almost got it. You got 1680, right? Previous resistance, support during COVID. This is this is that kind of hesitation period where we were stuck in here, and then we ended up just rising all the way up here with all that Fed printing of the dollar, bringing us up to historical highs at 2074, creating this wick up here. And then we've been in this corrective state with vaccines and everything. We had a couple different geopolitical issues going on with Israel. We had, Afghanistan going on as well, but also the inflation fears, right? That's been the main bullish mover of gold right now, plus any kind of, Fed printing and then delaying tapering. That's going to send gold up. So we'll see what they say this week on Wednesday specifically. We could be getting some ranging until Wednesday. I could definitely see that happening, especially when we have some Asian holidays today. So right now we are holding this bearish resistance over here on the monthly for September. And, 3 rejections over here so far. Could we be filling this wick and coming right back down to 1680 on the higher time frames? Gold has a lot to do with fundamentals, so we'll see what ends up happening. Now we do have this move down right over here, but we have a support formed somewhere around here. We could end up, like I said, holding this area over here and consolidating, at least consolidating in this area before we get any kind of Fed decision on Wednesday. So we got that support formed, previous resistance over here as well. Very key area anywhere in here. Right, multiple rejections in this area. So right now, price is reacting to that area. We're forming some sort of a support right here. We've got a strong current daily candle right over here. Could we be correcting part of this move? Or maybe could we be coming up at least into this area right here to create a resistance and then continue right back down, respecting the bearish trend that we've been in. Looking at the 4-hour. 4-hour right now. We'll go most recent support and resistance. Probably going to end up adjusting that, but we could get rid of this for a second. We know that's a significant zone. We did have on the 4-hour a support held, rejected here multiple times, rejected here, and then we got that close below and then closed right back into the range. So are we going to continue to consolidate in here until Wednesday, or could we break above resistance with a clean move to the left to come right back up here? Looking at the 1-hour, can adjust this right here. You got the fake out, a little bit of a fake out to the upside over here as well, but we can move that right there. We have price closing above this resistance right here, creating this high, coming down, retesting, creating a support right here. So could we be holding support to continue right back up? You got about 87 pips right here to this resistance. And so far in the 1 hour, this is a pretty clean move. And you got a clean break and retest right over here. But again, we've been printing lower lows, coming down, creating a new low, consolidating, grabbing liquidity, and then coming right back down. We could end up, staying in a period like this until Wednesday, right, where we just kind of consolidate in here, grab liquidity, and then continue down, depending on what their decision is, or we could, start to break up. Looking at the 30-minute real quick. 30-minute is a little touchy over here. I think this would be high risk, high reward, but if this candle creates its bottom wick right now and then starts to flip bullish and breaks its own high, I think we could continue right back up. But typically you want to close above that area. Plus, we could be reacting to this area right here. So we'll see. But if you get a close above this area on like the 15-minute, that might be good. But since this fake out, I've been respecting this bullish trend. So I think these will be risky sells if price breaks and closes below that support, but these will be safer sells, 17.49. You got anything to add, Tiger? You trade gold a lot, right?
Yeah, I was just kind of going through the setups, but I really wouldn't see any very clean buys until above 1766 around that range. So that just had top resistance.
1766. Okay, yeah, so above. Yeah, so safe buys. You got the clean move to the left over here. Once we break resistance over here,
Yeah,
might be a
but
better.
then you mentioned where it's at right now. If it could break its previous high, then you could probably see at least a nice small move.
Of course, if you get that volume around 9:15, if this candle starts to flip bullish, or maybe even around 8:50, right? You get that volume around 8:50 before 9 o'clock open, could get a nice push, but we'll see. GJ reached target over here. Like I said, I canceled the TPs on two of the positions, and I left one of them. So one of them got hit, and the other two runners are still going. So TP on two. Getting back to posting the breakdowns, quick video breakdowns, about 1 minute on Instagram today. I want that other page back. So this should be interesting. Tiger, you didn't take anything yet this morning?
No, nothing yet.
Okay. So you're looking at this as a possible play?
Yeah, if on gold.
Okay, cool. Just like I said, we could definitely tap this resistance up here, but just be aware. I would leave a TP up here and maybe not so much a runner. Or take two entries as far as like dynamic risk and just leave one runner and the other one let that hit that target, because I could very well see us creating that low like we did over here. Looks like very similar price action. Creating the low, we end up correcting, entering that corrective phase and then retesting the previous low and then consolidating. We create this low, come up here, retest the previous low over here, and then we consolidate to tap into here. So we could be continuing over here until Wednesday. So we could very well definitely reach this resistance up here, but after that, we don't know what's going to happen. You're going to have about 68 pips, 70 pips to reach that high.
Yeah, it's a counter trend move. But if there's a lot of good, if there's fundamentals that can possibly push gold up, then
100%.
it's a good confluence.
You got this fake out right here, right? You got a lot of things going your way. You got a good range right over here. You have the 1 hour, very bullish, perfect retest over here with a clean move to the left, right back up to 1766. So let's see what we get. I'd rather, especially in this range and knowing like how we played out over here, I'd rather wait for that close on the lower time frames above this resistance instead of waiting for it to flip. Especially the fact that I what's it called? I already took 2 trades today. But with that, guys, I'm going to end the stream. Do you guys have any questions?
Oh, sure. I'm good.
Awesome. So good job this morning, Gio. Caught a nice trade. Carlos, you grab anything this morning?
Not this morning, man. I was just watching, but I'm gonna definitely be trading more tomorrow.
Love it.
Yeah.
Listen, man, don't rush yourself into it. Gradually get back into it. I know a lot's going on down there. Probably going to get hit by another storm as we speak.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I shouldn't joke about that.
No, like I hear there's like tropical storms like forming, but nothing too serious at right now. They said like in 10 days or something. I'm like, I don't even know what to believe anymore.
I was laughing at your video. You're like, we can't catch a break down here.
Dude, it's crazy. Like there's no breaks out here with this rain.
No. I was gonna say something to you. Did I tell you about that My Radar app?
Yeah. I downloaded it. I got it.
Yeah, so like they have a free version. Obviously, I paid for it, but it's like $5 for the year. It's awesome. Do you like it?
Yeah, I like it. I like how accurate it is.
Yeah,
tells you more than the weather app.
Well, the thing is with the weather app, it's like, they're giving you their forecast, but like you can come up with your own forecast. If you watch it for a week, you're going to start to catch on to like, the way the wind moves, how storms are blowing over, how long that storm's going to last because you have that radar. It's a cool app to pay attention to. I check that before anything. And then plus they have their own forecast on there. They got their own hourly and daily and all that stuff. But I love that app.
Yeah, I'm gonna use it more.
Yeah, it's gonna help you down there. Be able to
for the weather.
You'll be able to warn some people a little bit earlier.
Yeah, for real.
But all right, boys, I'll let you go. Have a great day. This is gonna be back on YouTube, so if you want to go back and rewatch it, Tiger, we did a whole fundamental breakdown of what's going to be going on this week and what happened this weekend, stuff like that. So if you want to go back and watch it, just let me know, or don't let me know. Just go back on YouTube and check it out. But let me know if you take the gold trade, send your chart and all that stuff, and let's get after it this week. It's Monday, new beginning. Tiger, I know we talked about that. Reese was on here too. We talked about that as well. Carlos, you're getting back into it. Gio, I know you kill it. So let's get after it this week. Something that I explained, actually, I put this in the announcement part, but I was explaining this to Reese. Like, you need to be extremely patient with your trading and your progress, and be completely okay with what you're doing as long as you're putting the work in. But you also need to be extremely impatient with the work that you're putting in, because the clock is ticking right now. And right now, you guys are all in that sacrifice state where, like, you're saving money, you're investing money, you're you know working late nights to earn more so that you can invest into your trading account, or you can invest overall. Um, you're sacrificing maybe relationships or anything like that, where you're cutting some people off so that you could get better at Forex and really put your career on a great path, your business on a great path. So you're in that sacrifice state right now. Now, there's going to be a point where you're going to end up turning the corner, enjoying the fruits of your labor, getting huge withdrawals from your trading account, and being able to enjoy a lot of the stuff that you've been dreaming about, and maybe telling other people about that you're going to be, putting your money where your mouth is, and telling people your goals. That part of your life is shrinking by the day, by the hour. Like you're increasing right now, is especially when you delay and you don't put the work in, you're just increasing the time that it takes for you to sacrifice, and you're shrinking that time period that it's going to take for you to succeed, or that time period for you to actually enjoy the fruits of your labor, to travel. Gio, I know you like to travel. We both do. We were just talking about that. You're shrinking that time that you're able to enjoy that, where you don't have to sacrifice as much. You don't have to put as much work in anymore, because you already know the skill. You already have the skill. I'm not saying get complacent and do that, but there's going to be a point in time where you don't have to backtest literally every single day. You could backtest, once every weekend, and be fine with that. Once your eyes are more trained with the more experience that you get. So have an emphasis on the amount of work that you put in, and how much you hold yourself accountable. Be your own boss, right? I know it's very hard, but you got to be that voice. You got to have that alter ego that talks to yourself, where it's like, the regular you would either be going on Instagram or watching a random video on YouTube, but the alter ego you is like, no, shut that shit off and get to work. Go back test. Don't play video games. Go back test. Go journal your trades. Go get better at your craft. Go write down in your journal, like what's going on, and stay focused every single day. That's another thing. Writing down, staying focused as far as each hour, how each hour is accountable throughout the day. And if you feel like you had a bad hour, go back and review that hour and write down real quick. I know it sounds tedious, but write down, what did I do during this hour that I could be getting more out of my time, that I could be doing more with that. And just jot that down in your AAR, and then have that AAR at the end of the day, at the end of the trading session. How did you do today? How did you do at the end of the trading session? What were you feeling? How were you doing? Were you more fluid with the market, or were you confused about what you were looking at? How could you get better? All these different things. It's going to make you a better person. It's going to make you a better trader. And you're going to be well on your way to success. If you do that consistently every single day, you're going to see a massive improvement in the next month. That's all it takes. I would say 2 to 4 weeks, 4 weeks more realistically, unless you make a drastic change. You could see results in 2 weeks. But you're definitely going to be building confidence by the day and getting better at what you're doing. So, like I said, it's Monday. If you guys haven't been on track, this is that day where it's the beginning of the week. You could change everything right now. If you have been on track and doing everything, congratulations on your commitment. But like, you're not satisfied yet. You're nowhere near where you want to be. So it's time to get to work and not, pat yourself so much on the back, maybe a little bit. But at the same time, you want to keep those horse blinders on, looking forward, and doing everything you got to do on a daily basis, and focusing on each hour, each day. Have the weekly goals and everything, but if you focus on each hour, micro, like a micro thought process instead of a macro, it's going to be really beneficial. So, you guys already know that. All right, boys.
I appreciate the wisdom.
Oh, hell yeah. Guys, have a great day, like I just said, and I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Catch some more pips. It was a great session today, and Yeah, have a great one. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Reach out to me on Slack and we'll get after it tomorrow.
All right, guys. Y'all have a great day.
See you, boys.
Have a
Talk
good one.
later, boys.
Oh, yeah.